Jackie Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
All right, Jackie,
Hi,
I
Laurie.
again saved your ass by asking Kyle to bleep out names and club names.
Turns out I
this-
don't care. So you want him to do it? You can do it. So I don't care. I am so mad.
Right.
My life. What's the worst that could happen? I could die. Good. See ya. Don't forget to write. Don't forget to
death
light a
is-
candle to me once a year going, she went down hating that club. And,
Death is almost the best option. The worst option is that you owe more money. All right. So that's what I'm trying to save you. You're welcome.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Sheesh.
It's yep. So you're putting your paranoia to use and it's not, and you mean well. So do it. So I am gonna go. Okay, so Andy's been at a thing all week in Vegas, and so it's him and his mama.
His mom went too?
No, me and her are
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Trying to figure out a way that she can live her life in addition to, I can live my
Jackie,
life. But
It's so hard. Oh my God. It's so
it's difficult.
hard.
But I realized
Oh.
today that what I really want is to not kill her sourdough starter. Because that is something she's had for 40 years and she would be super sad.
Jackie, you know how your premise about your setup about your mother-in-law is that how you want to write good mother-in-law jokes?
Yeah.
I have news for you. You don't. You want to write really mean mother-in-law jokes, and you need to let yourself do it.
That's hilarious. I did a Zoom show the other night and she was in the living room watching. And so I did my
Oh,
I did my mother-in-law jokes and she liked them. She thought they were all right. And I have decided that if I want to do mom-in-law jokes, I have to go buy one of those fucking books from the 70s. The my mother-in-law is so my mother-in-law, this is why I hate her. And then try to sort of flip them. It'd be an interesting writing
that would be,
exercise.
but
Yeah.
also just your experience about, first of all, living with an elderly person, no matter who they are, is a lot. Secondly, it's not your obligation. So it's like if it was your mother, it would be like understandable. It's it's a marital obligation, that you're being part of, a contract you're fulfilling, right? You promised, right? So that makes there's an extra layer of, to me, interestingness about how much you're giving up right now at this point in time in your life, when you used to be very independent,
Mhm.
and with a husband that's not, controlling. So like you guys both lead very independent lives, and now you're both caring for somebody, and for you it's like one extra step removed as a relative. I don't know. I think there's a lot there that's not in a book. It's actually in Jackie Kashian's heart.
Yes, in my enlarged heart. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow.
Oh, really? Is
yes.
everything ticking okay?
Well, because I got that blood work done, and it turns out I I'm the aging process. I don't have you. Did I tell you this? I got the blood work done, and it turns out I'm not even pre-diabetic. Are you kidding me? How long have I been waiting for that? Pre-diabetic, diabetic.
Mhm.
But it turns out I have all of the cholesterol. Nobody else has any. I've lapped people.
You want some statins, man? I'm on statins for the rest of my life.
Are you
I'm
on
on
statins?
statins and blood thinners because of my aneurysm. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the statins are for cholesterol, but also you don't want to, you want to keep the circulatory system as finely tuned as possible when you have a massive aneurysm in an artery. Yes. Mhm.
Yes. So okay, well, yeah, so I'm taking vitamins. And speaking of which, I forgot to take my vitamins today because I get up and I do things, and very few of them are pour moi.
Right.
But the though I do think to myself, pour moi. Anyway.
Wow, that was a Duolingo pun. That worked in two
Exactly.
languages. I love it.
That's the name of the pod. Pour moi. But the yeah, so but so I'm gonna go tomorrow. I want to get a bunch of things looked at because I'm off on the road this week again, and then next week Andy has game developer conference up in San Francisco, so
Mhm.
he's gone another week. So it's Chris and I. We're having an okay time. Like she just gets she's in a little bit of pain, but we got PT coming to the house, and we're trying to organize some stuff.
Good.
And
Good.
and that's great. I did a Zoom show, and I came up with some new lines, and I do like Zoom. I really do.
Yeah, I don't
And
mind.
yeah,
We
and
should do more of them, you know?
we should do more of them, just because there were 64 people at this thing. That's plenty. That's plenty
That's
of Zoom
plenty.
people.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get a good read on material. And if they're, donating money or something, there's a little change for you, If they're
Yeah,
not, whatever.
right. And I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's nice. I had Anna Valenzuela and Virginia Jones over yesterday to pick up some Swiss chard and some collard greens
Oh yeah.
because my garden, the two plants I have in my garden right now, and I had 4 of Swiss chard
Yeah.
and collard greens, and the two I've given away 4 giant bags of these things, and they're still enormous. And I just I want to put in the new garden in like 2 weeks
Becky,
for
could you grow
tomatoes
a
and stuff.
vegetable people like to eat? And then
I
I
like to
would be able
eat.
to
What
take
vegetables do you like to eat?
apples.
Vodka? Carrots? Are you your mother? It's get you some baby carrots and a
Jackie,
glass of vodka. Yes?
have you served Chris the Joanne Kilmartin special? Why don't you give it a shot? It's
She
equal
doesn't
parts of
drink.
vodka and water.
Yeah.
Why not? She's 80 something now. Why this is the time to start again. That's what I
Right.
say.
She's 77, and I say the same, but she doesn't want any part of it. And she was with Fran for a long time, and Fran could put away a 12-pack,
Mm.
And so Chris stopped drinking a while back, and I was like, "You're
Does Chris
probably
drive?
right." She is supposed to renew her driver's license this month, and I'm like, "I'm not doing that with you. That is an Andy Ashcraft task
Yes.
because I can't be the one."
It would be great if she could learn the area. The one thing I learned about my mom is I brought her, she left Pleasant Hill too late, and it was really hard for her to recalibrate and learn, this new
A
place,
new
right?
town,
And so
yeah,
she just didn't. She just stayed home,
yeah.
which made everything worse. And Chris is, I think she seems young enough where she could still learn streets and be not be uncomfortable every time she got in a car. Like if she could, figure out 5 places that she's kind of going to go and figure out how to get there, that will give her the confidence to get out and not be so dependent on you guys, which would be great for all of you.
Yeah.
Like if
Think
you
that
just
ship
pick a
has sailed.
pharmacy, a doctor, a
Yeah.
grocery store, just like 3 or 4 places where she can dart to
No, we did
herself.
that. Yeah, we did
You
that a
did?
year ago. We did that a
Oh,
year ago. It's
okay.
I don't know if she still thinks that that's possible, but and maybe
Okay.
it is. Maybe it is. But her pharmacy and the grocery store and her bank are all straight shot from our house.
That's great.
Like
That's
literally she would go, hang a left, go down 11, 12 blocks, turn right, and then there's the shopping mall that has a B of A, a CVS, a Ralph's. She's driven there once in the last year.
Okay.
It's 10 months. So
Okay.
I don't know what will happen, but
Yeah.
but there it's something that just have to figure out how to accept, right? I have to either live in acceptance or run. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Just know that every day, tell yourself this is a hard thing, and that the fact that you're doing it is like, it's not easy. And so if you're doing it, you're doing a great job. If you're
Right.
succeeding at all,
Even right. Even if I'm not doing a great job, I'm there.
Yep.
So that is
And
as much.
for those people, it's hard to lose a partner, and then you lose the place you live within a short amount of time, and all of a sudden you're in a new place living with new people that might,
Yeah.
resent
Yeah.
you a little bit. It's hard for both everybody involved,
Right. She's not psyched. Right.
Yeah.
This is no cakewalk
She'd
for
rather
her.
be with Fran in
Yep.
Visalia.
Yep. Or wherever. Yeah. And I will say that what was I? Oh, I had a thing. It was great. Could have been anything. Whatever it
Listen,
is.
what I've done for myself is I've decided to never fall in love with anyone, and that way I won't miss anyone. And I think that's how all people should live.
Excellent. Excellent. I know it's very sad. Maria posted today on Instagram and Facebook that her father passed away of COVID.
Yeah, I saw.
And he was just very weakened, like right after her mom passed away. He sort of was like, oh, I wonder what my life will be like now. It's exciting, maybe. And then he kind of, I think, spiraled back into a lot of depression. And so
Right.
he hasn't been eating for a couple of months. And so he didn't
my
have,
gosh.
but he was all vaxxed up and boosted and everything. He just didn't have the muscle mass to fight the COVID.
Yeah, they say the booster in old people wears off after like 2 months, the Omicron bivalent, and they should
The
get
new
it.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, when you're I could talk about COVID all day, but it's fucking a wily fucking evil piece of shit virus. And so it's figuring us out, and it keeps figuring us out. So
Yeah, lateral moves.
it's really sad to hear about Maria's dad. It's really strange because her mom died of lung cancer. Our parents both died of the same diseases. It's reverse parents, but in the same order. My dad died of lung cancer. My mom died of COVID afterwards. And then she had the same with reverse parents.
Yep.
I don't know what that means. I just noticed that.
Yeah, you would notice it. Yeah.
But it sucks because everyone acts like COVID's kind of not happening anymore, or it's mild, and it's not at all. If anyone's reading stats, which a lot of people just don't seem to be, we're losing a fuckload of people every single week still from COVID, and they're not they're not all elderly people,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, stand-up comedy. In other news, in other news, we did the Max Fun Q&A.
That was
That was really fun.
We got to do with our Patreons. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we just had a Zoom where we had everyone who's supports us on Max Fun and
could come and
let's not mention the Patreon this week. So everyone who supports us on Max Fun listened in, and they could listen in. They were able to join us live on Zoom. We had about 15 or 20 people there, and they asked us questions and we answered them specifically. We wrote names down in the chat so the Max Funners know some names.
That's it. And they that will be the bonus episode if you sign up for Max Fun this year.
Yes. Now you won't know the names because they were only for people who were there who could read the chat.
That were in the chat.
Not part. Right. Yeah. Sorry for anyone who couldn't make it. It's a live situation.
It was a live situation.
But we'll probably do another one next time around and save your questions.
Yeah, and it was kind of fascinating, and it's going to be, how Max Fun always does when their drive is they do a bonus episode, and we're always trying to figure out what is it besides us just exhaustedly doing an extra,
which is pretty funny,
which is always very fun and funny.
40 minutes of madness normally.
Right. So this was different. It was fun.
Here.
Yeah,
producer Kyle. Cool. You got 365 days to think up some good, juicy questions for this thing. When we come next year and I see those hands go up, I want to see crazy Jackie Laurie questions. This is my personal plea to you.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
Yeah. Jackie, all right. So can I talk about this gig? Or
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was in town and I did some Los Angeles gigs. I did Better Half and I did Good Heroin.
Nice. Cool.
And
those are both great shows, actually.
Yeah, those are very hipstery shows. Better Half, a lot of haircuts, just staring at me going, I know that I'm supposed to, I bet you she's really funny, but she seems like a boomer. And I thought about saying, first year of Gen X, you guys, first year, which is
I
just
know.
boomer
Hello.
light.
We're the first year of Gen X, okay? How dare they? How dare they rope us in to those fiends, those
Right,
boomer
and
fiends?
right, exactly. They're going to be they've already begun making fun of us, so it's fine.
I know,
So
I know, it's not good. But at least our reputation is that no one pays attention to us, which let's keep it. You can ignore
Right.
us.
We're the Korean War generation.
Yes,
It'll be fine.
we're the Korean War generation of generations. Oh, that's so
Yes.
funny. That's a great joke. And that lets them know you're not a boomer. Jackie, you got to start your I am Gen X. I'm not a boomer chunk.
I am already explaining white flight to a bunch of people. I don't have time to also explain the book Generations. Very specific. And then, but I will say, I did Good Heroin kind of last minute, picked it up, and it was super fun. And they were a little quiet, but I got to run jokes and I had a really good time. And I think it was Sarah. Did I say it was Sarah Hennessy? Kyle?
You didn't say anything.
I don't remember.
Okay, but whatever it was, she was fucking hilarious. She had an amazing pet joke that I found quite delightful, quite honestly. Sarah Hennessy, that was it. Very nice. Okay, so but those were my gigs for the week, just 3 sets in town. And I've been trying to I want to start these writing projects that I have ideas for, but I haven't been able to dig down into it. You went on the road. You went to Seattle?
All right. I'm not
Portland.
gonna Jackie, let's not get into specifics.
Okay.
Okay. So it was one night, 2 shows one night at this place you worked at. Okay, right? Whatever.
Yep.
I misspelled that. I don't care. So
I know what it was.
Yep.
Okay, so there was a guaranteed minimum, and then there was a walkout potential. For some reason, my eyes only see the walkout potential when I read the offer. I never look at the minimum, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna make that's a nice little chunk for one night. Well, I have to sell out the theater 2 nights, and
2 shows.
it's a night, 2 shows. Everyone there is nice and stuff, but I was never tagged on any social media. Not once by the venue at all.
Right.
And I'm on 4 of them, and I checked. I didn't see anything. They didn't retweet. They didn't repost anything of mine. So if people knew about it, it's from me. Okay.
Yep.
I did my best, but it's also just one night. I've got other things to promote. I can't spend a week promoting one night in a city. I'll do enough, I think. So I didn't sell out both. I mean, they were fun shows, but they weren't sold out. So I got the minimum. And the amount of travel I did to make this minimum, I was like, this might break me. Like when I got the check, I was like, because I'm flying to Seattle, but because I didn't fly Alaska. Alaska would have been a one shot, but it's too expensive. I took Southwest because I'm trying to save money, right? And we have layovers at least an hour on outbound, 3 hours on the back end. So that now it's the whole day, right? And I'm traveling to a city on the West Coast, which is already it should just be like an hour and a half or something.
Right.
And I don't, but my plane ticket cost the travel allowance. Okay. So now I'm like, if I Uber to the gig, now that's coming out of me, and the Uber's like $70 when you tip, right?
Wait, you didn't stay upstairs?
No. What do you mean?
There's a hotel.
I did. I'm saying the travel from the airport to the hotel.
Oh, to the hotel. There we go.
They don't
Sorry
cover
about that.
right?
They didn't
so
cover
now
that.
This is coming out of my income. Meager income. So I'm like, let me just take the train. I can't check in till 4:00 anyway. It's 3:00. Let's just take the train. So I take the train to Westlake. Then I have to roll my suitcase, 2 of them, to this place, and it starts out with nice concrete, and then it's like asphalt that hasn't been repaired since before Microsoft came into fruition. Okay. And now I'm just fucking exhausted. I'm tired, right? Yeah. And I got 2 shows, and the first one's at 7, and so it starts almost immediately. I have like a half hour to just relax in the hotel, and then it starts. Now the show is attached to a music venue. And what's that amount that you just posted?
That's what I made for the weekend that I did there 2 years ago.
Okay, so you did 4 shows?
4 shows.
Okay, this is how much I made for 2.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Very shitty.
What I like to do is get in on the first weeks of people thinking
Yeah.
that they're going to pay everyone fair. Okay.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So the entire first show, there is music playing so loudly that the walls are reverberating in the room. Like I made a bunch of jokes about it. The audience, we were all laughing about it, but it was like, wow, this is a
Yep.
lot to talk over.
Yeah,
The
it's a
second
music
show-
venue. Yeah.
Right. But for a 7 o'clock show, you don't have to play music for the stuff. There's no, it was like they were doing sound checks, you know?
Ah.
It wasn't like Nirvana.
I
was
couldn't sleep.
downstairs.
I couldn't sleep all night.
That's different. I haven't, Jackie, I'm still at the 7 o'clock show. We're talking about fucking bedtime. Let me pace
Okay.
myself here. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, please.
All right. So that's fun. We do it. And Alyssa Yeoman opened for me. She's hilarious. So then the 9:30 show, there's less music. I don't know why there'd be less but there was. It was still there, but it was less. And I did sell out of books on the first show. That's cool. So I covered my commission. Right. So I guess I get to keep that entire shitty
whole-
amount that I just
yeah,
typed
yeah.
to you.
Right.
But like, I don't know. And then the next day, yesterday, so I have like I took the Uber. I was like, I can't
Yep.
do this fucking, I'm gonna ruin my suitcases on this concrete.
Yep.
Right. So I take the Uber so that now we're coming out of my little amount, right?
Yep.
And I got a 3-hour layover because Southwest has a delay in Sacramento. And it's a long travel day, and I'm demoralized by the small amount of money I made. And then because
you didn't pack a lunch?
What do you mean?
Did you pack a lunch? Because the airport is really, I've been flying Southwest a lot lately too, and it's cost me $40
Oh, it's very expensive.
to hang out at an airport.
For some reason, I don't count that, but I count Ubers as like.
And I don't
income.
want to encourage you to count that. Go ahead.
Okay, so then, but because it felt like a Sunday, right? It's like the end of the week. You're tired. You want to get home, but it's Saturday, so I get home. And I get home around 4. Oh, I have a 7:10 at the Improv in the main room, so I have to give a shit.
Oh my God.
So now I'm like, and great, always grateful for spots, but it was just like, this whole weekend feels off. And had 2 shows of Flappers, and Flappers, I was on the 7:30,
You had-
9:30.
Wait, you had 3 sets last night?
Yeah, in LA at different clubs. Yes,
At
okay.
different clubs.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so do the 7:10, fine, good, right, leave. And then traffic is insane. Everyone is out last night. And I don't know if you weren't at Flappers last night.
No, I was at
Burbank
Stories.
was overrun. It was almost like we were being attacked by humanity. It was people everywhere. You couldn't park. I had to park in a structure instead of illegally in front of the club like I usually do. And I was supposed to open for Leno, and I didn't realize that because I thought it was just a regular showcase thing, and I'd get there like at 8, because I have a 7:10, and then whatever. The video takes 15 minutes, and I'm usually not first or whatever.
Right,
But
Jimmy
so
Brogan.
I missed that. So Brogan just did extra, and then I closed the Yoo-hoo, and then I did the regular set on the 9:30 show, which is in the main room. But anyway, it was just like a long day of never touching base. Also, I feel like my body is falling apart. There's been so many travel days like this, and I haven't been working out as much. I'm like, I just don't feel good. I feel like I'm losing muscle mass. And even today, I'm like, oh my God, after doing 2 hours of this, I got a 5 p.m. show at Flappers, and then I checked the gym I go to, and they close at 7. And I'm like, can I go up either first or last so I can squeeze in a fucking workout so I feel human?
Right.
I don't know. I'm just, but new tags are coming. Okay.
right. That's right. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. You're just like, it's so hard to be alive. It's so hard to be alive. It's hard. I wrote a new joke though. And it makes it all worthwhile to some extent, right?
This week that's coming up on Thursday night, I'm leaving for New York for 10 days.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna have 2 full weekends there, 2 Fridays and Saturdays, and then a full week. And I have at the moment 30 spots on my books. There's room for more on Wednesday if anyone wants to hit me up. I only have a 10 p.m. at the Broadway, so I can on either end of it. If you got a late show or an early show, I can do it.
I think there
yeah,
was a cool gig down near the Broadway, kind of around the
I don't want
corner.
to. If it's near the Broadway, that might be illegal. So it's in terms of if you want to keep working the Broadway. So I won't chance it. But if there's something else, some cool little funky gig on Wednesdays, maybe we can work it out. But
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I will have lots of opportunities to work on chunks. I have decided whatever happens on the night of my special, which is April 8th at the El Portal Theater, and I still don't have a link to give people tickets, but I
That's
would love
weird.
it if people that knew me and liked me showed up and not a bunch of randos, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever happens, it will just be that show that night, you know? Like, it can't be the ultimate experience. I don't know even what that means. Sometimes you tell a joke perfectly and then that it just washes away. It's like writing in the sand, right? And then Jackie, what are you doing right now?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about my own set.
No,
I'm
you're
so
not.
sorry.
You're writing. I
I'm
see you.
not.
How am I
I'm
supposed to
not.
talk to you if you're figuring out your deductions for this year?
I wish I was doing my fucking taxes because my tax lady wanted them 2 weeks ago. But no, I agree.
You agree? You don't know what I said. You're trying to remember in your head. Hey, Jackie, I went to school too. I know how this fucking works. All right. What did I say? What do you agree with, Jackie?
All
What
I
did
know is
say?
the berating. All I know is the berating at this point. We're just like
Stop being an abused child all the time.
You spent Vera Eisenberg has the greatest joke about how everyone always says how kids are so resilient, but
Mhm.
why do we spend the rest of our lives trying to process what happened to us if they're so fucking resilient?
Mhm.
It's a great premise.
Yep.
So I was actually looking to see where that Wednesday was so that I could tell you where it was, because it might not be close. It might be far enough away that it might be a thing. So
Yeah, that's later.
who's
after the
who's a
podcast.
helper? Okay, after the podcast. No
Yeah.
time, no reason to help you right now.
No.
Okay, no, we're talking. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't
I
ask.
right. The travel is hard. It's harder now than it was. It
It's
genuinely
worse.
is.
It's just worse. The seats are more uncomfortable. The way you're treated at the airport, all the shit you have to remember to buy. Fucking hotels don't have lotion anymore, Jackie.
Every time there's lotion in my hotel room, I'm like, why do I have lotion? I don't use
There's
lotion.
no salt. Nobody has salt. I bring my own salt now. No one has enough salt for me. I have to bring everything. I have to bring my air purifiers
You're
for
on
the stage,
Stenton.
for restaurants, my
Oh, God.
masks. I have to bring all cameras. Oh, by the way, my Mark Christopher, very funny guy, was a feature act at Roosters. But this has happened a couple times. Our feature community, they are spending so much money on cameras. They are coming to these shows with multiple 4K setups, and they'll go, "Hey, you want me to videotape?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure," you know. And then you get this tape. You get this tape with every fucking wrinkle. Like, no, thank you. You know what? I'll take my 10-year-old Canon that barely gets my eyes. Thank you. Okay. That's why do I need every fucking wrinkle on this, you fucking feature? What are you trying to do to me?
Right. Well, didn't you post something on the thread? You were like, see how the different angles that this guy has? Where the fuck is the other camera? And Danielle
that's
Perez
a different
found
guy.
it.
Yeah.
A
What?
different guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
remember Danielle Perez found it?
Yes,
She
yes.
grabbed a still and she was like, it's at his feet behind him and it's pointing up at him. And I was like, holy shit, they have to go in for literal tech.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's Alingon Mitri, I think his name is, that has and then there's this other guy I just started following, Matt Rife. He has a ton of crowd work stuff. He's like 10 million TikTok followers, right? But I mean, a lot of those guys are going in. They must have a team at this point that they're paying. For me to remember all this shit, it's killing me. Did I bring this cord? Every USB cord, every device has its own fucking cord. Like, there's so much shit to remember to bring now.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. But it just cracked me up that a lot of these feature acts have better cameras than anybody. And I know they just make shit money. It's so unfair, but they have to spend it on all the stuff so they can get shit to put on TikTok. So maybe they aren't always featuring, because the club system is falling apart now too, which is partially good because it always sucked.
Let
You
it
know?
burn.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so, everything's changing so quickly now. It's really hard to adapt so fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let's take a break. And let's do Comic of the Week.
Yes.
I worked with her in Traverse City. It's T Barb. It's IMTI Barb. Are we sure I didn't do her? I feel like we might have just
We
done her.
definitely have not.
But let's do her again. If not, she's
We
great.
haven't.
She just
Okay,
got the
sure.
Harbinger Kyle follow, which means that she hasn't been a Comic of the Week, because I
Oh,
follow
fair
every
enough.
Comic of the Week when we add them.
Oh, that's great. I am T Barb
Mm.
on Instagram. She does her, speaking of grinding it out, and
Yeah.
she does these videos called Only in Detroit, and that's her brand because she's a Detroit comic.
Oh.
And I was telling her, oh, I know a Detroit comic guy named Robert Jenkins. She's like, that guy's from Lansing. Anyway. But T-Bar, very smart, very funny, super energetic, and
Mhm.
and really fun. It's I really enjoyed working with her. She's on an upcoming episode of the Dork Forest, might be even this week. I can't remember. But because the Dork Forest are piling up. By the way, so find her, follow her, book her. I am T Barb because she's great.
Cool.
Speaking of the
what-
Dork Forest,
okay.
yes.
Is
Uh.
Only in Detroit? Is it written stuff, or is it stuff she finds and just
She finds and makes videos.
That's great.
Like she's talk about grinding it out to make content. She's
Yeah.
got like these, like they're cop videos, there's animal videos, there's grocery store videos. I was like, where are you getting these
It's
videos?
so exhausting.
Right. I don't understand. Yeah.
It's so much. I mean, if you can hire people to take videotape and then pull clips,
Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
That's incredible. Imagine being able to be like these guys that will have 3 cameras in a sold out room, including a camera behind you so you can film the audience. You have someone that's filming everything that marks down, hey, at 12 minutes, this happened. At 15 minutes, this happened. And you go, yeah.
I forget what's the name of that's a job. What is that job, Kyle? On set?
Oh,
AD?
like a script
A
supervisor?
log? Yeah, like someone who logs all the time codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do that, and then they just spend a couple hours that night syncing it all and putting it all together and posting it. I mean, that's incredible. But you have to
Yeah.
be making a lot of money to be able to afford that. And
Pete-
so for me, like I have crowd work stuff it's all backed up. I have to watch an entire hour-long set, right? And then make notes because I can't remember when things happen. When I get off stage, I'm like, I don't know what I said. I have a few memories of things that happen, but I don't know when they happened, when they occurred.
Can you watch it on 2 times? Can you watch it at 1.5 or 2 times?
Maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. I usually just throw them into iMovie and then
Because
let them
I don't know how
play.
to do that, but I know that
Yeah.
other people listen to my
That's a
podcast
really good
at
idea.
1.5, 2 times.
So
Because then you can at least scrub through it. At least it'll take a half an hour instead of a full hour.
I gotta check that out. How would if I do that with a MP4 or a MOV file? What I could do that
You
in
could put it
QuickTime?
into VLC, which is a free program. Its logo is a little orange cone, and you can control the playback, and it plays any video or audio format. It's a great little tool.
It's a free download.
Yeah,
Yeah.
VLC.
I have that VLC.
Okay.
It's also called Vlog
Okay.
It, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me just download something. Great.
Welcome to
Right.
hell.
And it now it needs to
Exactly.
be on all 7 of my devices.
Mm-hmm.
You know
We
what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
Hell. The thing is I don't have another special in me right now, but Kyle and I are working on something.
Yeah.
We're working on a little secret special we're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
right. Yep. We're gonna do it at
cool.
the end of this month, and it should create at least
Quite the
what do you think?
stir.
10 clips?
I think so. I think we got that. I'm doing some tech
Yay.
runs for it this week. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, and I signed up for a thing on TikTok where now all of my clips have to be over 1 minute,
Ooh.
Wait,
which
what?
is actually quite disappointing.
What
To
do you mean?
monetize,
What do you-
there's a new thing on TikTok where they want you to do videos that are closer to 10 minutes. So
Okay.
I only have, like, most of my bits are that long, but the clips aren't that long, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, so they're only going to let you do long ones now if you sign up to get monetized that way.
I think I only get monetized for the long clips. I don't get monetized for the shorty shorts.
Weird.
But I don't know. I don't understand. The thing is I didn't graduate from law school. It was all very disappointing for everyone around me that I didn't go graduate and pass the bar. So I don't know what to tell you. But I will keep trying. I just
Mhm.
want to, I literally feel like this is why very successful people write children's books. They're like, I'm going to
I
crawl into an
know.
underground bunker and write about doggies
Yes.
or the train that could.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Gonna play with this car. Anyway, yeah, so this week, but I am looking forward to Bloomington, which is only a weekend, Friday, Saturday. And I'm flying
Oh, so that's
Southwest.
yeah. Jackie,
That's this week, Indiana.
you now when you check in, you're gonna get the night guy, Tyson. And he's the guy that hooked me up with lotion after I complained about it on Twitter. And he's excited because I was telling him you're coming up soon.
Okay.
One of the I think her name is Melanie or Melissa, one of the women that works at the bistro downstairs at the hotel. She
Yeah.
might be wearing one of my centaur shirts. She
Mm.
was probably also going to come. She'd never been to a comedy show and like loved it. And I'm like, oh, you'll love Jackie. She's my podcast partner.
Oh,
So
there you go.
the hotel might be vibrating with excitement when you check in.
Can't wait. Thinking, Jared usually sends a young comic to come pick me up, but I'm actually thinking about renting a car if I can do it with points.
Oh,
Just
that's
because
nice.
I use points to get there
Yeah.
or to get home. What I did was I booked Southwest and I booked one ways. This is a fascinating story. And if you're not fascinated by it, so sad, too bad. Not
Jackie,
you.
I
I'm talking
yawned
to
because I'm sleepy. This half this show is travel tips, okay? With comics.
Too real.
No, it's so true. And and here it is. It's I've taken to booking one ways on Southwest because
That's
I
smart.
find them to be cheaper slightly.
It's a little easier to tweak them too if you want to change the flight. Yeah.
Yes, it is easier to tweak them. And so on the way home, I booked, the one way going there was like $3.50. The one way coming back was $5.60 because I used a bunch of points. So it is under $400.
Yeah, just a general note. Most of what they give you for airfare does not cover airfare unless
No,
you
it
have
can't.
points.
Yeah.
If you luckily have points laying around, okay, but you can't.
Eventually, I will not.
Yeah.
Eventually, I will have used all of my points. And
I mean, Seattle was $237 round trip to Seattle.
Okay.
That's crazy, right? That used to be. I don't know why I'm saying what used to be, but I mean, it used to be a lot cheaper than that because it's West Coast to West Coast.
I remember getting a deal like a 180 and being pretty psyched about it. But
yeah, it should be
230
under
actually
200.
sounds 230 sounds pretty good. The weirdest thing is I don't have I'm shy of work for the next couple of months. And yeah, I should figure let me make a note to self.
Get work.
Get
I'm
some
gonna make that note
workation.
to myself as well.
It's
I picked up a week at the Punchline in May, 3rd through the 6th, in
Nice.
San Francisco. After this little, I'm just focusing on tweaking for this special, and then I am then I'm back to my normal rotation, I guess, of
Right.
material and stuff, or stand up, i.e. I need more weeks.
Yeah, i.e. we all need more work.
Mhm.
And so I don't know I don't know how to make it go faster or get bigger or be more important. Like I don't know how to become more important to people.
I
But
know, I know.
it's okay. It's just I get to do stand-up comedy. I get to write material. Everybody likes me. Nobody hates me. I'm gonna go eat worms. I don't know what to say. But
it's like watching people blow up on TikTok and suddenly sell out rooms, is, I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, it's crazy because
But it
what
is
there
an
was,
interesting phenom. It's a
it
weird
is
phenom.
like good,
Yeah.
the club system. While I was raised in it, it's
Yep.
always sucked. It was never fair to me anyway. So, uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
Right.
great. I look at though who's blowing up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of young men, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I'm like, I don't know that no matter how many clips I post, I'm going to blow up. But if I can just connect with the people that would like me, I don't have to sell out 8 shows at, for example, the Pittsburgh Improv, like this, like Matt Rife just did. If I could sell out 3 or 4, that would be cool one day.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and I guess the thing is like there are enough people out there that would love us that don't know we exist.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to find them, and we're trying to let
Yeah.
them know we're here. You should come to our shows. You would love us. You hate stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are probably turned off by stand-up because they don't know we're here. That's what I
Right.
think.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. And everybody who listens tells everybody that they like us, and they try to come to things, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just
It's not
it's
moving the
finding
needle
new people.
completely.
Right. It's
Yes.
finding new people,
Right.
and the prongs of attack. Melanie VC, great comic.
Mhm.
She helped me out with my social media. I paid her to help me with MailChimp. MailChimp just raised their prices to
I heard.
Crazyville.
Yeah, you told me.
And I'm like, well, I can write it off, right? Anyway, do I get Hulu? Jesus. And
I used to think writing it off meant I got the money back from the government. I didn't like people need to explain basic financial literacy to comedians when you start off, because you're like,
well,
you
it
hear
means
write
you
it off
pay
and you're like,
less.
oh, it's free, right? You don't pay
It
taxes
means
on that money. That's
right.
it. It still costs you.
It costs you, but then you use it as you put it against what you would owe.
Right.
Essentially, it
Yeah.
affects. Well, yes. So, but she did such a nice job, and I have to. And now that I pay so much for Mailchimp, I'm like, well, you better fucking send out some emails and better encourage people to join that list and let people get off that list, because they're going to come now once, probably every 2 weeks, instead of once every 3 months, is what I was doing when it was free.
Somebody, I think it's Alingan Mitra again. I'm going to mention him again. I think he has a thing where you just sign up and you enter your zip code, and then if he's near you, he emails you and lets you know, and you can go to a show.
Right, that's probably some sort of elaborate thing that I
It's
should
super
probably learn
simple
how to
though.
do.
Um,
Substack.
I believe
yeah,
Substack has a
signed.
newsletter set up that is not as expensive.
Okay. Yeah,
Does
I
she
was
have to import? Do they? I'm sure they will import
start
all of the
over.
Yeah.
emails from Mailchimp. Yeah.
I'm just throwing random info out to the listener too.
Right.
Oh my
It's
god. Oh,
and
Jackie.
yeah, so if you're just starting one, maybe try that Substack. But I don't know how to get all those names to a new one. It's
Oh,
sort
yeah,
of
you
like
do.
changing banks.
They might know how to do it though. It is
It's
no, but
almost
yeah,
yeah, change it, like moving your phone, right?
yeah.
It's like that. So
But
I
it's
don't
one of
know
those
that it's
things where they
possible.
figured it out, and you just worry about it for 3 weeks ahead of time, and then you go, "Oh, that was easy." Yeah. Um.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. So yeah. So I have stuff I'm gonna clip out from Roosters. Just a quick audience thing that was kind of interesting, and
You've been
it's still.
grinding it out. I've seen a lot of clips from you lately.
Yes, they still don't do as well as just straight stand up, which
Yep.
part of me is relieved, but are also, I don't have that much straight stand up that I want to put out, that I can do a clip a day. But again, I wish I could hire a team. I wish I could, if you could spend the money, do you think if you had $100,000 for a year, and you had a team go to every single show, they get there ahead of time, they set it all up, you just show up to your set, they clip something out after every single show, they post it, would they pay for themselves at the end of the year if you develop enough of a following where you can do these kind of things where you
I
just
don't,
announce you're
know
gonna
that it
be at a
would cost
club?
$100,000. I think it might cost, I think you could get such a thing possibly. I know somebody pays $3,000 a month.
But do someone videotapes all of their shows?
Uh,
I'm saying
no,
bringing them on the
takes the
road with
raw.
you.
Okay. Oh, I don't.
I'm just
That
saying
seems
having a
overkill.
team
Yeah.
that you fly with you,
If
and
I'm gonna
they
have a
take care of
team,
all
they're
that
gonna
stuff.
they're gonna knock sandwiches out of my hand. If I'm getting a team, it's gonna be a different
Oh,
kind of team.
you want
It's
them to have a different,
Yeah, I'm
different
gonna have
job decision.
right. I want a massage therapist and for
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
to yeah, different team. I need a
Yeah.
rock tumbler. I need someone to put me through a rock tumbler, get me out like a fruit roll up. Anyway, so
I don't think you have ever used your rock tumbler, if that's what you think it ends up with.
buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, let's yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. um, let's take another break and come back to the
Yay!
last 15 minutes of the solution.
The solution is
Yeah.
actually death, and that will come for us soon enough.
This
That
is my
solves all of my problems.
This is my dad's suicide joke. It opens and closes with my dad's suicide joke, which is that in your 50s and 60s. In your
Oh
40s
yeah,
and 50s,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So so here's what I want to do. I want to do more Zoom shows. I want to write my altercation solo show. I want to do the thing that I'm doing with Kyle. I want to I would also like to write the Great American Novel, and then I would also like to eat more collard greens and Swiss chard. What do you want to do?
Do you really want to eat that stuff? Or do you
Yes.
wish you wanted to eat that stuff?
Well, the thing is I would make a really big pot of this Portuguese soup, which was usually made with kale, but I have Swiss chard and collard greens, so I can make it with Swiss chard and collard greens, and linguiça, which is a Portuguese sausage. I can make this giant pot of soup, and Chris and Andy like it, but they don't like it as much as I like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll be as interested as I will.
All right. Let's see. I want to knock out a few more videos. I have lots of sets, lots of headlining sets with lots of crowd work in them.
Yep.
And a lot of the, like when I was watching Matt Wright, he's really good at crowd work, right? But his shows are also sold out. You can hear, and I'm sure he's got mics all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Because it feels full. And sadly, I really thrive when it's not a full room and I'm pissed off about it, when there's music bothering me. Like the worse the gig is, the funnier I get, because I'm like, what the fuck, right? I'm actually, when it's a sold out room, I'm like, what? This is disturbing to me, you know?
Right.
So my crowd work has a different vibe to it.
It really does. Really does.
Which is a tone of bitterness underneath it, versus like Matt Rice is, you feel like you're watching somebody on the way to stardom, so it's kind of exciting. But with me, you're like catching someone after the dream has ended, and they still have to pay a mortgage. That's where you're catching me, and it's not as exciting for people, I think.
I like, you're watching that guy, whoever that guy is. I'm watching Pete Lee, because
I'll check out Pete,
because Pete has so many clips and it's all crowd work, and he's got the audience mic'd. He's got video of the audience.
How does he do that? He doesn't do it himself. He doesn't get to the club early himself, does he? Someone's got to be helping him, right?
I guess so. I've asked, he did the Hutchinson gig the month before I did, so I've been talking to him about that. I haven't talked to him about other things. The only other thing I want to talk to him about is how he falls in love with women named Jamie a lot. Anyway, so
not my interest. Is he starting to is that popping off for him then? So is he filling clubs
doing
now?
he does very, very
more
well.
Than he was before?
I think he's been doing well for the last 3-4 years, but I think it's sort of escalated a great deal. Like, I don't know what his numbers are, but he also works the big chains like all those guys did. So those guys win.
You work you get more work, you get more clips. Yeah. I mean, congratulations to everyone that's in the big change. You and I aren't at the moment, which is another frustrating thing,
It's hard. Yeah, it's just yeah, so like Pete has 123,000 followers on Instagram.
That's a lot. That's a lot,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's a lot. And then that's how he does clips.
So that's what, I see.
And he does the same,
They look
he does the
good.
same
She's-
font, but he
she's
changes
showing me-
colors. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Interesting.
So is that his Instagram or his TikTok? Because TikTok
that's
allows those things. And Instagram, he's adding a separate, what's he putting a transparent cover though? Because how do you
Right,
add that?
because on Instagram, I don't know that he must be doing that through the whole show. I wonder through the whole clip.
You could also
Nope,
have that
it is
single
not.
image at the very, very beginning of the clip and use that as your preview image at the start for like a second and then have it go.
Okay.
Oh, he's
just
using
take, like, a
he's taking the
screenshot.
cover.
Yeah, so
the
you're
cover
taking
from
that
the
cover,
camera
sticking at the
roll.
very start of the image
Okay.
and using that as your jump off.
You are smart. You're smart there,
Mhm.
Kyle. And yeah, I don't know what his TikTok is.
At least you can save that
Um,
and put it right on Facebook without any, because
Yeah.
they're both owned by the same evil corporation. So
Yeah, right. And I don't actually know if he's there. Well, there he is on TikTok. I
How many
300
TikTok?
300,000.
That's huge. How many do you
Yeah.
have?
I have
You were at 10 and then you ballooned up because of your pepper spray stuff, right?
maybe because
your
of the
gun
mace
jokes?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The I'm at 143,000.
That's Jackie,
that's great.
a
That's amazing.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. And my Instagram is doing pretty good too. So I don't know how to 78,000.
That's
So
great. That's
those
great.
are and I've pretty much bailed on Twitter just because every time I go, they show me tweets I don't want to read.
Mhm.
And so it's a
I
bummer.
know.
And
I have a special selection of Harry
oh, did you
and
do
Meghan.
lists? Did you do lists?
Yeah, I have some lists, but I mean, I just check in with
I should probably go back to
I'm
lists.
almost only reading about the coronation and the lead up to the coronation right now on Twitter because everything else just feels. I mean,
Oh,
besides
hasn't he
just
been coronated? Wait, isn't he king?
no, what? It's not till May. It's on Archie's 4th birthday. You should know that. That's
I don't-
obvious information.
Who's Archie?
Who's Archie? That's Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan's child, who's actually a prince. They just announced they were taking the titles, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Okay, so those are their two kids.
Lilibet?
Lilibet was Queen Elizabeth's nickname, and they named her
Oh.
Lilibet in her honor.
Oh, but did they really name her Elizabeth, or did they
No,
fucking
her name
her
is Lilibet Diana. Yes.
All right, Apple.
What do you mean?
It's a
Says a
lot.
woman with a dog named after the rapist Mike Tyson. Please.
Name either of these dogs, and I don't have anything. I don't have anything to do with these dogs. I do
know,
have to figure out how to put a cone on these dogs. Gordy has ripped up his ear, and I don't know how to stop him, but I have to put the cone of shame on him, so at least he stops. So I went to Petco and bought a cone, but it's too big or too little or it's too some fucking thing. So now I'm gonna bring him back to Petco and say,
Cones.
buy it, make a cone work because I can't take him to the vet till tomorrow.
Charmy had a cone on, and we got it at the emergency vet. So I bring it back so they can reuse it. They're like, "Oh, we don't reuse them," and I'm like, "Why? They're plastic. You could just wipe them down and reuse them." They won't.
Yeah.
Does anyone give a shit about this earth anymore? We're gonna have just a sea of plastic cones that we couldn't reuse.
Right. I kept the receipt. I'm going to be bringing the cone I purchased back, unless somebody can fucking show me how to use it because I didn't do it right. And sadly, Gordy's the one who can bite. He's just got one way of telling you he's unhappy. Yes, he drew blood
Very
on Kyle.
clear,
It isn't
yes.
okay. Yes, it isn't okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're close, Kyle. How
I think
do you feel?
we're almost to the point where I can lie and say we're close.
Oh, so just a couple of minutes. So
But
everybody,
I thought you
seriously,
typed
I would like
45
to.
minutes a long time ago.
I was literally only about 4 minutes ago. I am as shocked as you. We're
Okay, so there's
54.
We're at 54, so another 6 minutes. I will say this though out loud in a sad tone of voice. No, I won't. But it's like, but if you are in Indiana, please come.
Yeah.
Please come to see me at Bloomington. And then I have these two gigs, these two weird gigs, one in Arden, Delaware, and one in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Sweet.
They're on JackieCation.com, the tour page. Please come to those. Supposedly, according to the demographics of this podcast and the Dork Forest, we have a lot of fans in Delaware and Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet
maybe
to-
I'd like to work there too.
You hear that, Delaware?
I'd like to do
Bring
the
her over.
punchline, but have you gotten me to
You
come back
just
to the
did
punchline?
it. You just did the punchline.
Over a year ago.
No, you just did San Francisco a year
Over
ago.
a year
I
ago.
thought you did it last spring or last.
You
fall.
did it on New Year's Eve, and then you've done it.
No, I
3
did
ti- You've done
Cobb's
it
on New
3
Year's
times.
Eve.
You've
I'm
done
from
3
there.
times since me.
I'm from there.
So get me some work if it's going to be like this. It's
I'm going to be at the San Francisco Punchline in May.
yeah, you are. I'm going to be in
returning.
Vegas. I'm going to be at the Vegas Comedy Cellar in May.
I will be in Portland in June. Guys, come see me at the Siren Theater. I think it's the 28th
Oh,
or 29th
I love
or
the
27th
Siren.
and 28th. Yes,
Kelly
let's
McClendon.
fill this up. I can't work the comedy club there because I'm a new headliner according to the GM there. So please, guys, let's come see this new headliner, Laurie Kilmartin, at the Siren Theater
of heat.
in June.
Okay. Let me tell you something.
I'm excited to do my first 45 minute set as a new headliner.
She's hungry.
And I'm in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee in May. Tickets on my website, kilmartin.com. It's my tour. That's right. We got to
and-
start calling it a tour. Like
We do have
everybody.
to call
I'm
it a
on
tour.
I'm on my tour, guys.
What you naming it?
It's called
Gotta
the
name it.
35-year long career plus.
I'm also at Agua Caliente in Palm Springs for a nickel at the end of this month. I hope I should buy a pull tab or a scratch card or something so that I fucking double my income. But Carmen Morales and I are going together. We're going out to Palm Desert. I can't believe I'm doing it.
Can I sell Chad Daniels a bumper sticker at my show? What if I bought them wholesale from Chad and sold them at my show?
Right. As long as
'Cause I
you
agree
can
with the
print them
message.
yourself. You could just print them yourself and then
Mhm.
put Chad Daniels' website on the bottom of it.
Who's going to stop me?
He wouldn't care.
He wouldn't. No.
He would be very supportive.
It'll be like licensing out a play, he could
Put corset
what
in
if
his
people
online store.
People start licensing out their merch, like Hamilton or something. Come on. You got to think of new venues, new ways to make money, Jackie.
It's true.
Revenue streams. That's what I was thinking of, not venues. Both have a V in it. Hey, it's been an hour.
I'm leaving.